We're loading into a game with very easy AI, and I'm just going to teach you some simple macro mechanics. This game, we're going to ask ourselves essentially 3 questions. Should I make a drone, a building, or an overlord? So, I'll hotkey this onto my 5, and I'm going to ask drones or overlords. Because I'm almost supply blocked, I'm going to do an overlord. We'll just put that guy over here for now. And then I just go back into making drones. Spamming this button. I'm just hitting Q on my keyboard. If you're using a different hotkey setup, it'll be S. So, I asked if I want to do drones, overlords, or buildings. I just did an overlord, so I don't need one of those. And I can't do drones anymore. So, with this money I'm wrapping up, I'm about to need to make a building because I can't spend this money anymore because I'm always at 0 larva. So, I know that a hatchery is 300, and I'm almost at 300. So I'm going to send a dude down to eventually make a hatchery.
We require more minerals.
And you don't have to do this before it's ready or before the 300. That's just what people have done because they recognize the timings. Then we go back to making this larva number stay at 0 by spamming this button. So do I need to make an overlord, more drones, or a building? We need to make a overlord next. So I'm going to stop spamming this and just wait for it. Boom, overlord. So now we need drones or a building. Because we're at 200 and we can't make this, I'm going to throw down a building. And the way I did that is I just did Z and A. And then I just go back to pressing 5 and spamming this button, making sure it stays at 0. And because I have nothing to do while I spam this, I'm going to hotkey this and then go back to spamming. Again, we have nothing to do. So let's make one of these buildings because we couldn't make drones. So we're at that point again where we can't make any drones. We don't need overlords, so we're going to make a building. So I'm going to just grab some of these, press Z, and then Q on my keyboard, and click. And then just go back to spamming that button. And let's saturate this. I'll do that by boxing all of them, right-clicking it, holding shift, left-clicking 3 guys out, and clicking back on the minerals. And then I just go back to spamming my my larva, making sure that I'm paying for stuff. So do I need an overlord soon? Nope. Could I make a building soon? Probably, because I'm not using my larva. So I'm going to make sure this is 0, box one of these, left click on the map, Z and Q, and build one of these. And then I go back to doing that same thing. Q, 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 Q. Ask myself, do I need an overlord? Nope, I'll just keep staring at this number. Slamming that down, making sure that I'm building drones. So, I have this money in gas, so I'm going to spend that in this upgrade. And then I just keep spamming this. Do I need an overlord soon? Yeah, probably soon. I have 2 hatcheries producing larvae, so I'm going to make an overlord next. I'm also going to make sure that I have all of these hatcheries linked up. We'll tell them all to go here. So because I just made this overlord, I can't make drones because this is 0. I'm going to make another building. Again, the way I'm doing that is I press Z and Q. And I have like 5 things highlighted, but only one of them is going to go do it. And then I go back to pressing my hotkey, 5, and spamming drones. So we're getting at a point where someone might attack us soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of safety units. So because I can't make safety units anymore because this is 0, what I'll do is I'll box them, I'll click on the minimap, press my hotkeys Z and Q, and make another hatchery. Then I'll check, oh, I can make more safety units. Okay, I think I have about 12 lings. That should be enough. So I'll just go back to spamming drones. Oh, we have a problem here. We have 19 out of 16. What can we do? First, we'll change where we're going. Make drones over there. Because this is 0, we have something to do. Highlight a few. Right-click them off. We're like, oh, that's too many. So we'll right-click back. We know that's 12 and 16, so that's 4. We shift-click 1, 2, 3, 4. And we take this to somewhere else. Then we'll click right here. Go all the way into drones. We can't make drones anymore. And we have money. You know what that means. We're going to highlight this and make some more buildings. And they don't have to be at bases. I'm just showing you this for example. I'm going through on each of the map by left-clicking on my squares and hotkeying my new hatcheries. Oh, I'm almost supply blocked, so I'm going to make, let's say, 3 overlords because I have a lot of hatcheries that are making drones. So we have these nice little safety lings. And all I've been doing is just spamming this button. Let's go ahead and make 2 more overlords because we're going to be ramping up our production soon. And then just go back into making drones. Oh, we realize that this is a problem. Let's tell all of our drones to go somewhere else. And what we'll do is we'll box a chunk, realize that 4 need to go back on, right-click it, shift, left, 2, 3, 4, and then go somewhere else with these. Let's go over here with them. So I have almost 80 drones. We just keep doing that. We just keep holding Q and checking whether or not we need buildings or overlords. Right now, I can't spend any of my larva, and we don't need overlords, so that means buildings. It's a little bit later, so I'm going to make a few more safety units. And then I'm going to go back into making drones. Oh, we have too many here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left-click somewhere else, tell them all to go there. Grab a few. Okay, 5 need to go back. I mean, sorry, 4. No, 5. Shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I tell these to go somewhere else. And how I've been going around the map so fast is I just left-click on the map. And I have all these larvae that need to be sent. And I know that I need 10 more drones. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And bam, now I'm home free. I'm going to make a few overlords because I have all these hatcheries that need to be hotkeyed because I forgot. And since we have 80, all we need to do now is make army. So I'm going to just spam army. We have money we can't spend, so that means, oh, let's get rid of this and forget it. I just attack moved. Since I can't spend any of my larvae, I'm going to box some units and make a whole bunch of buildings. And then I keep going and making more units. So now, instead of spamming Q, we're spamming Zerglings. I mean, instead of spamming drones, we're spamming Zerglings. We're almost supply blocked, and we have like 6 or 7 hatcheries, so let's make 4 overlords. And then we just go back into making more army. Because we can't spend any of our larvae, because we're doing it too fast, we can make more buildings. So what do we do again? We drop some of these. We realize we're getting attacked, so I'm going to press all army, attack, and forget about it. And then I go back to doing what I was doing before, making army. Oh, I can't make an army anymore. Better make another building. And we're not quite at 80 drones anymore, so let's get back up. And let's make more army again. Let's add all these to our hotkeys. The way that we can do this kind of fast is I'll hold control, and I left-click one of them, and that adds every one to my hotbar, and then I do Shift 5. Same thing I need to do right here. Control, left-click, Shift 5. And I tell all of them to go right here. We're almost supply blocked. We have all this production, so I'm going to make 4 overlords. Or 5. And then I just spam more army out. So we're almost at a point where we can just go kill them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all army. I'm going to click over here on the minimap where his base is. I'm going to press my attack button, hold shift, click here, and click here. And then I just go back to what I was doing before. Make more army, Oh, I don't have any more. I can't anymore. I can't make any units. So what I can do is I can just make more of these. A lot of what we have you do is based solely off of just making sure that you don't use, solely based off of making sure this number is low for every one of your hatcheries. Because our army's been dying, we can't necessarily keep making more, but we can stay at 200 while making more of these buildings. I hope that this was a good example of how to macro efficiently. One more thing. I know I didn't stress it that much, but if we return back to the game, is we'll have times where we have this red number, and that's bad. So what we can do is we just box off a little bit, take it away. We realize there needs to be 3 that goes back. Right-click them all. We go 1, 2, 3, holding shift and left-clicking them, and we just send them somewhere else. So let's check on the minimap. We'll click. Oh, a lot needs to move from there. 1 needs to go back. Shift left-click. Is this one good? While I still have all these extra ones. It looks like all of those are good, so I'll just send all the extra ones over here. And we just keep spending our money, keep making buildings because we can no longer make units. So we're going to load into a game to learn some basics, and I mean very basic, macro mechanics. So we ask ourselves 3 questions throughout this entire game, over and over and over. Should I make a drone, an overlord, or a building? We're almost supply blocked, so we're going to make an overlord next. So I'm going to hold Q and just hold W. Boom, it's made. I'm going to put them over here. So now we just go into making drones because we're almost able to spend that money because Overlord's going to be popping soon. So I just have been pressing 5 my hotkey, pressing whatever this button is for you. For me it's Q, and then I press this button for drones again. And I just keep spamming that. So whenever this is 0 and you have a lot of money, pretty much enough money to make a building, you make a building. So I don't have about 300 yet, but 300 is how much a hatchery costs. So when that gets around 300, I'm going to make a hatchery, which it's about to do right now. So I'm going to take him down here, and by the time he gets there, he'll be 300. I'm going to press my hotkey here on my keyboard, which is Z, and then Q, and put it here. Highlight it, do Shift 5, and I'm going to go back over here and keep spamming my drones. So then, because I can't do anything, the drones are being used up. I mean, the larva's being used up. I have to ask myself, can I make another building? Well, yes. We have 200, and that's how much a spawning pool costs. And the way to do this is you highlight your units, you press your hotkeys Z, and then A. It may be different for you. It just depends on what you have down here. And then you press your hatchery hotkey, and you go back to spamming drones. Oh, we can't spend any more drones because our larva's gone. So what we can do is we can make another building. Great. Then we go back to seeing if we can spend our money. We look up here. We realize, oh, we're almost supply blocked. This one needs to be an overlord. Then we just go back into spamming drones. Because this number is 0 and I've been spamming it, and I have a lot of money, I'm going to box some of these and go make a hatchery. And I'll press Z and Q, whatever those are for your keyboard. And then I go back over to my base, tell all of my hatcheries to go here, and I go back to building drones. Nothing's using this, so I'm going to highlight something, right-click it, hold Shift, and left-click right here in this box. 1, 2, 3. And then I click back on the minerals. Oh, that's too many. So we'll take some down here. Oh, we need 3 to stay there. So we click right here, and we do Shift, click, 1, 2, 3, and send them over here. Then we go back to doing what we were doing a second ago. Spamming out those drones. This is the priority. You just spam this button, as well as looking up here. Oh, shoot. we aren't nearing supply blocks, so we don't need overlords. We can't make anything here. So what we can do with all this money is we can make another building. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to press this button on my keyboard and this button on my keyboard. And I'm going to click it here. And I go right back to making drones. We're almost supply blocked. So what we're going to do is this next drone larva that pops up is going to go into an overlord. Boom, we made it. We're going to send it over here on the minimap. Sure. And then we just go back into doing what we did earlier. Spamming out these drones. Oh, we can't seem to be spending our money. So what we can do, while still spamming this, is highlight some and go make a hatchery. And then go right back to spamming. We can't spend our gas, so what are we going to do? We're going to get this upgrade. And then let's actually not worry about gas. That might be too complicated for very entry level. So this is almost all done for this hatchery since I've been spamming it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell all my drones to go over here when they are finished building. Once again, we're having this dilemma where I'm spamming this button and it's remaining at 0. And I have a lot of money. So, what I can do is I can go grab a few, go over here, click this button on my keyboard, this button on my keyboard, make one. Do the same thing over here. And because it's a little bit later, let's make some safety units. And hotkey all these buildings. Tell them all to go right here. So safety units. I think I made about 10 lings there. So once again, I go back to what I was doing earlier. I asked, do I need overlords? Maybe one, really soon. So we'll make it. Then I go back to spamming drones. I'm just spamming this button, making sure it stays at 0. We're almost supply blocked. We know that we made that overlord a little bit ago, but we have a lot of hatcheries, so maybe we should start making them 2 at a time. Again, I'm spamming this button. This is a big number, so I'm going to highlight some, and we're going to start making some hatcheries. And then I go right back to spamming that button. Let's make sure, while spamming this button and looking away, see how I can do that without actually looking at my base? I just keep spamming this by pressing 5 and then Q. Let's make sure that all of these buildings are hotkeyed. Bam, they're all hotkeyed. Okay, here we're having a problem. We're having a lot of drones on here. 2 more. So, actually 5 more. What we need to do is stop telling everything to go here. Tell them to go over here. And we'll highlight a chunk. Drag it away. We'll realize we need 2 more to stay. So we'll right click and hold shift and left click 2 of these guys out. 1, 2. And then drag them all away. Bam, we're at perfect saturation. Let's check the saturation of all of our bases. They look great. So let's just send these guys that we selected from over here to this base. And then I go back to doing what I said earlier. Spamming out those drones. Oh, we're almost supply blocked. And we have a lot of hatcheries. So this time let's make about 3 overlords. 1, 2, 3. And we're at 80 drones. So what we can do is just make a butt ton of units. E. Oh, let's add these to our control group. Tell everything to go here. E. Almost supply blocked. Actually, we have a sec. So as you see that these are popping up a lot faster. I can keep going 5QE. 5QE. For you, it's whatever your number is, whatever this thing is, and then whatever your army unit would be. So, once again, we're at that point where this is super low. Like, we can't get any more out of it. So we'll make more buildings. And then we go right back to doing what we were doing. We're almost supply blocked, so let's make 3 overlords this time. And then right back into drone. I mean, these Zerglings, these army units. While I'm holding this button, I'm gonna hold shift and add all of these guys in. Another way I could have done that is I can control and left click, and whatever building is of the same thing on my screen will be added to this hotbar, and then I can do shift 5. We could do the same thing with Zerglings. If I want to select every one of these Zerglings and not the overlords, what I can do is I can hold control and left click any of these lings. So we're getting attacked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the all army hotkey. I'm going to press attack, and then I'm going to go back to making stuff. We see right here that there's too many right here. So let's drag away the perfect amount. Maybe one more. I'm going to hold shift and left click another one. Bam, we got all of them. And let's check all of our other ones. Oh, we need 4 from here. There. We got 4 from there. And it looks like all of our other ones are set up. So let's send all of our drones over there. We still got... Oh, we have 75. We need 5 more. Let's fix that. Bam. 5 sent there. And then we're just going to keep making units. And because we're at max supply, let's just go ahead and A-move him. I'm not even going to look at his side of the map. I'm going to select all army. Press this button on my keyboard. For me, it's T. Hold shift. Click, 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 click. And because I can't make anything, I'm at 200, 200. Only thing I can make right now is buildings. So let's make buildings.
Our forces are under attack.
And when these get spent up, we know that they were drones. So let's add back those drones that are about to be spent on these. So it's like Q, 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 Q. And this guy, Q. So now we have the right amount of drones again. I'm going to hold control, left click this, shift 5. Hold control, left click this, shift 5. And tell them all to go here. Oh, we have a whole bunch here. All army, attack move. And I'm just going to click on the minimap. Once again, oh, they're killing our army ever so slowly. So what I can do is 5, Q, army. Bam. It didn't even matter that it died. And I think that you get the point of it's just making stuff over and over and spamming this button so that the larva is always at 0. Right now, it's not feasible to keep it at 0 because we're at 200, 200.